Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Hughes. On this video I briefly discuss chiropractic. Now, contrary to popular belief, chiropractic isn't just about popping backs. Now, I know a lot of people do associate chiropractors with being back poppers, and in fact, many chiropractors are just that, back poppers. They take a pop and pray approach, which means they'll pop you and pray that you'll get better. Well, in my office we do things differently. I don't pop and pray. I want to find out exactly what's wrong so I can go about correcting it. And I'll take a short-term approach, which is to get you pain relief, but then a long-term approach, which is to keep your problem from returning. We do that with a thorough exam, so we know exactly what's wrong, and then we can explain to you what's wrong and what we can do to correct it. And then I'll answer any questions you have, and if your problem is correctable, we'll go about correcting it. Now, your problem could be simple or it could be complex. A general rule of thumb is the longer you've had your problem, the more difficult it is to correct. Now, let's look at what happens when you get misaligned. Now, I don't know how you get misaligned personally, whether it was a car accident, a slip, a trip, a fall, maybe you slept wrong, maybe you do a repetitive motion a lot, but somehow you get misaligned. And where you have a misalignment, and we'll just demonstrate on this plastic model, where you have a misalignment causes abnormal stress to the joint. And when that joint is moving improperly with all that extra stress, it'll get inflamed. And you remember, inflammation causes pain. Additionally, between the bones is where the nerves come out. And those nerves control every function in your body. So if you're irritating a nerve, you can have a myriad of symptoms, from tingling in your hands to headache to gastric problems. So, when you have that problem, the body doesn't like misalignments. What it'll do is it will tighten up the muscles around the misalignment to prevent further irritation of the joint and the nerve. So that's a good thing, a natural splinting action with your muscles. But you won't like that natural splinting because you might feel spasming pain in your back or restricted motion. But that's actually a good thing because it's going to protect you. But with time, because this is tightened down and you're still trying to do your daily activities, other areas have to compensate for the restricted motion. So maybe you move too much above it or too much below it. And all that abnormal motion as your body's fighting against itself causes you to feel lousy or tired out by the end of the day, or maybe even before the end of the day. So what we want to do is find out where you're misaligned. And we do that with a thorough exam. So first I'll look to see where you have those tight muscles. I'll press on your bones different ways to see where the joints are inflamed and irritated. I'll check your ranges of motion to see where you have restriction. We'll look at your posture to see, do you have a low shoulder? Is your head shifted off center to one side? Are you getting rounded in your back? Has your pelvis started to twist out of alignment? And lastly, we can take an x-ray picture to view the individual segments and see how they're aligned. Then we could go about correcting you. If your head's off center like this, we'll try to straighten it out. If your back is rounded, we'll start to correct that rounded back. And where the individual segments were all locked up in spasm, we'll release those, free those joints up with chiropractic treatment and therapy, get them moving again. And lastly, we'll give you some exercises targeted to those weak muscles and that can also help your posture. So to summarize, I'm not a pop and pray office. I'm going to find out exactly what's wrong and go about correcting it. In my office, there's nothing more frustrating than having someone come see me from another doctor, whether that's a doctor of chiropractic or a medical doctor, and the person can't even explain to me what the doctor said was wrong or what he was doing to correct it. So that means either the doctor didn't explain it, or worse yet, he didn't have a plan to correct it. That won't happen to you in my office. When you come see me, you'll know what's wrong and what we're going to do to correct it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.